Has a customer at your job ever made you violently sob? I got paid to feed annoying beaches all day long because I worked in a restaurant in the middle of Silicon Valley, right beside an elementary school. It was always the same crowd. MILFs with designer bags, expensive blowouts, never tipped more than 10%. But one woman, Delana, was the worst of all. She once brought in a black duffel bag and put it right in the middle of the restaurant. "Can I please get some effing service?" she yelled, with her 9-year-old daughter standing beside her red with embarrassment. I immediately ran over to her, and that's when she handed me a long black cable. "This is a white noise machine. Without it, I can't eat properly." I stared at her in disbelief. "What are you waiting for, Christmas? Hurry up and plug it in." Every part of me wanted to take the black cord and tie it around her neck, but my boss Maria was standing right there. So instead, I just told her about it. "Go help the woman and plug it in," she said, her voice cold and assertive. So I did, but the whole thing made me overthink, because usually Maria was one of those chill bosses, the type to let you puff during closing time. And as I stood there, setting up a white noise machine that was disturbing the entire restaurant, Delana kept going. In just 5 minutes, she managed to pinch my thighs and offer weight loss tips, complain about water spots on the forks, and turn off the light switch because it was too unflattering. And when I was finally done taking her order of a plate of lettuce with exactly one cherry tomato, Maria finally opened her mouth and said something that explained everything. Turned out that crusty white beach Delana was going through a divorce. Her husband had cheated on her with another man. TBH, it made complete sense, because if I was with Delana, I would turn into a homo too. And I guess Maria saw the glimmer in my eye, because she immediately told me that we had to have empathy towards her. I was annoyed, but at the same time, Maria's kindness is why I loved her so much in the first place. So I just nodded and tried to force myself to be nice. The next day, Delana came in looking rougher than usual, hair slightly frizzed, makeup smudged like she'd been crying in her Tesla. I almost felt bad for calling her a dollar store Kardashian behind her back. Keyword is almost, because as soon as I brought her water, she grabbed my wrist. Turns out she had a gift for me. It was an at-home STD testing kit. I know exactly what your type is like. Your innocent eyes and smile might fool the little boys in your school, but I know a W word when I see one. Her eyes were filled with insanity. I glanced over at her daughter, who looked like she was going to cry. I wanted to slap Delana across the face, but Maria caught my eye from across the room. She was giving me that damn empathy look again. So I just said, "I'm clean, ma'am," through gritted teeth and walked away. But Delana wasn't finished yet. She came back the next day, again setting up her effing white noise machine. I was right on the verge of unaliving myself when my favorite couple came in, Andrew and Steven. They always tipped 40% and let me have a bite of their food too. But Delana took one look and lost her poop. She stood up so fast her chair scraped against the floor. "This is a family establishment." The whole restaurant went silent. Andrew tried to ignore her, but Steven looked like he was ready to fight. "It's bad enough my husband decided to become one of them." She pointed a manicured finger at their table. "But now I have to watch this while I'm trying to eat." Maria rushed over, apologizing to the couple, trying to calm Delana down. I heard her whispering about going through a hard time and, "Please understand." Andrew and Steven nodded their heads slowly, but they still ended up leaving. Sigh. Maria practically had to get on her hands and knees to stop me from quitting, and she got me a mango jewel too, so I stayed. And the next day, Delana came in with a huge smile on her face, wearing a promiscuous maid costume in the middle of summer. She looked so happy I thought she got D'd down. The truth was much, much darker. "Guess what?" Delana announced to no one in particular. "My daughter is finally a woman." That's when her daughter appeared, in a dress that matched Delana's. My jaw dropped so hard I thought it was going to snap. Delana continued louder. "She's becoming such a little heartbreaker, probably getting even more action than you," she exclaimed, now pointing right at me. I felt sick. This woman was bragging about sexualizing her daughter to prove some twisted point about her gay ex-husband. That's when Maria finally snapped. She walked over to Delana's table with this eerily calm expression, set down the check folder. "Delana, I've been patient with you. We all have, but this ends now." "Excuse me?" Delana's voice went sharp. "For the past 6 months, every time you've eaten here and tormented my staff, I've matched your bill and donated it to an LGBT charity." The restaurant was dead silent. "In your name, of course. You contributed over $3,000 to help gay kids. They're sending you a thank you plaque. I hope this has taught you a lesson." The whole thing was funny AF, but TBH, I was still a little disappointed, because Delana's daughter still needed serious help. But Maria always pulls through, because that's when CPS walked in the door. Full story on channel, link below.